You're very welcome back to Unstable TV. So you guys from America, USA have sent us over another vid A.
Oh, spicy. Let's see what it is.
And what that is, Danielle is going to tell us exactly what you lovely people from USA have sent us.
So, what have we got today? This is 10 US travel destinations that you should visit. Now, we are in Australia now, but on our way home, we're planning a trip that we were meant to go on for our birthdays, but stuff happened so we couldn't. So we're planning a trip on the way home to America, to Vegas specifically.
Yep.
So yeah, this is going to be good to watch. See if there's any weird places we need to also stop off on the way to.
We're going to basically just gamble everything we ever had after this. Only joking, don't gamble. It's illegal.
Put it all on black. Or put it all on red, whichever one of that saying is.
We're not encouraging any of that. It's all us, kid. Don't come for us policies.
So, let's see if any places that we've been to America already are on this. Or all the little hidden places we haven't seen yet.
So without further ado, guys, let's travel virtually together. Let's go.
I've traveled pretty extensively in recent years, all over the world.
That's what we like to
and
hear.
while I've visited some
Rainbows.
incredible
She's been on a
far-flung
rainbow.
destinations,
Nice.
as I've shared on this channel, I've also learned that I don't always have to go so far for a great travel experience, and the US
Continues to go
remains
far.
one of my top countries for travel. There's such a variety of landscapes and climates here. You get beaches and mountains, rainforests and deserts, big cities and little towns. So today
That's a
I'm going to
little
share
town?
some of my
That's a big town.
favorite destinations
That's-
in the US
that's a
that I
big boy.
recommend visiting. And thank you to Storyblocks for sponsoring this video. Savannah, Georgia. I think Savannah is one of the most charming cities in the US, and I feel like it gets a little overshadowed by Charleston, which is only 2 hours
Yeah,
north.
I have the
But
same
what I
problem.
love about
I get you.
Savannah is it's walkable. It's
Charleston.
relatively small, so you can walk the city in a day. It's on the water. There's a lot of history and beautiful homes, restaurants, ghost tours, lots of fun
Ooh,
stuff to get up to.
ghost
I
tours.
think it's a perfect weekend getaway. Now, if
Nice.
you're looking for somewhere outdoorsy, my favorite outdoors destination in the US is southern Utah.
Ooh.
You get incredible desert landscapes, slot canyons. There are 5 national
Slot
parks
canyons.
in this region. You have Zion
Can you
National
cave
Park
dive?
that has insane hikes. Bryce Canyon National Park, which is so unique. It sits on a rim that overlooks a canyon full
Ooh.
of trails and
I like how she's proven to us
Arches
now. I've
National
been there
Park
as well.
is full of arches,
I like that.
not
That's cool.
surprisingly. It's also a great region for stargazing and astrophotography. Seattle, Washington. I'm a little biased on this one because I'm from Washington State.
I'm going to pause that for a minute. Since when was Washington all the way up there?
Yeah, when was in the top left?
I thought Washington was actually beside New York.
I thought it was in the centre.
We snag Americans over there, knowledge of geography, and yeah, I haven't a clue.
Yeah, top left the whole time. I thought it was the centre.
So Washington is beside California this whole time.
Yeah, does California know that?
Surrey? So it's Canadian then,
Yeah. What?
because it's so close to Canada.
How is it close to Canada? It's in the top left.
And where is Canada?
In America.
He knows where Canada is. We've been there, it's fine.
Ah, yeah, 'cause it's the north of America. Am I alright?
No, sorry, the heat in Australia is getting to us. It's fine. So yeah, maybe we need to do a geography quiz about America because that was...
Oh my god, yeah. I think that's another video we're gonna have to do. Try and test ourselves on geography. Actually, that's what we do. Me and Danielle ask each other. And Danielle will probably come out on top.
Anyway, we'll get back to this travel video because that's a different video, but I'm very shocked that that's where Washington is.
Yeah.
Very, very shocked.
Utah different.
Yes. Anyway, let's go.
I grew up there, spent most of my 20s living in Seattle, but I think that makes me especially qualified to recommend it. If you want to visit a big city with a splash of nature and epic
Splash.
views, Seattle is the place. The downtown is full of restaurants and shopping. You have the historic Pike Place Market and the original first Starbucks. But my favorite thing to recommend
That's where the
if you're
first
visiting
Starbucks is?
Seattle is to catch the ferry on the waterfront over to Bainbridge Island. It's like a 25-minute ride and you get the most incredible skyline views on the way. On a clear day, you can see Mount Rainier in the distance, and if you're really lucky, you might even see whales in the Puget Sound. And speaking of whales, my next destination recommendation is the San Juan Islands of Washington State. The San Juan Islands are an archipelago nestled right at the border of the US and Canada, and it's one of the most
because that is the top left,
you can visit in this country. The most common way to get there is by ferry. The last time I did that, I saw baby orcas.
Orcas.
So I would recommend it. There are also flights up to the islands, usually in teeny tiny planes. These islands are so beautiful and pristine. There are resorts on the waterfront. You can even rent little mopeds or go-kart type cars to ride around the island on. Depending on the time of the year and the moon, you can do bioluminescent kayaking, which I did on a girls trip that was so cool. It's like kayaking in the dark and like sparkly glitter as you paddle through the water. It's like impossible to capture on camera as you're doing it though. Otherwise I would have a whole video about it. Highly, highly recommend it as its own destination, or if you're doing a longer trip, doing a Seattle, San Juan Islands combo. My next recommendation is another island destination, but it's in the exact opposite part of the country. It's Captiva and Sanibel Island in Florida. I got the chance to visit these islands a couple years ago, and I was blown away with how beautiful they are. They're adjacent to Fort Myers, so you can fly in, rent a car,
looks like Florida.
Short drive out to them.
It is Florida.
The water is blue. The islands are gorgeous. The resort I stayed at had this walking path along the water, and dolphins would just swim up next to me, like 10 feet away from me. You can take boat trips out to the little keys in the area. Now, unfortunately, this area was hit really hard by Hurricane Ian a couple years ago, so there's a lot of rebuilding going on. It appears a lot of things are open again and continuing to open. So right now that might be something to navigate, but when things are open and ready for you and you're ready to go, it's an incredible place. Jackson, Wyoming and Grand Teton National Park. If you want to wake up, get a nice breakfast, go for a drive and see a moose.
I always want to wake up and get a nice breakfast.
See a moose
with some mountain views.
Oh my god, look at this.
Town for dinner and bar hopping. Jackson, Wyoming is the place for you. It's a fun little town at the entrance to Grand Teton National Park that has the incredible Teton mountain range and tons of wildlife. It's also a big destination for skiing. It's one of my favorite places I've ever been. If you haven't seen my Wyoming video, I will link it down below. And it's only 2 hours south of Yellowstone National Park, which is by far
Yellowstone.
I would also recommend. Yellowstone is incredible. But whenever I talk to people about their trip to Yellowstone and I ask if they did Grand Teton too, most of the time I'm met with a, where's that? I think so many people miss out on it. And while Yellowstone is incredible, I mean, there are so many things about Yellowstone that make it worth visiting. I liked Grand Teton because it was a bit quieter. Yellowstone can get really busy. So I think Jackson and Grand Teton is great for a trip on its own or to roll into a Yellowstone trip. I did a road trip up the coast of Maine last summer, and it was phenomenal. There are so many little towns along the coastline with beautiful harbors, lots of lighthouses. If lighthouses are your thing, you want to go to Maine. But specifically, I loved the town of Bar Harbor because it's nestled against Acadia National Park. So kind of similar to Jackson, Wyoming, you get
she likes national parks.
Small town,
I'm pretty sure it's national park she loves.
With nature and hiking. And Bar Harbor is on the water, so you get great water views. There are also boat tours, kayaking, and Acadia National Park is really scenic. You can see a lot just from your car driving through the park, but there's also hiking. There's places to get incredible views over Bar Harbor. I loved it. I will say though, Maine in the summertime is popular and expensive. So if you're making this trip in the summer, plan well in advance. I didn't. Mine was a last minute trip, and one of the stops along the coast, I paid like $350 for a Holiday Inn. So plan in advance. Carmel by the Sea, California. Carmel is a charming seaside town that feels both refined and relaxed at the same time, which is something I think in general California does really well. It's entirely walkable, so book a room at one of the cute inns and you can get everywhere by foot from there. You can walk down to the beach, stroll along the little shops in town, and the dining is unreal. Every single meal I had there was incredible. There are a lot of nice upscale restaurants that have more of a casual, relaxed, kind of like a wine country vibe. Also, you can rent bikes and ride up and down the coast, which is really fun. My next recommendation is also in California, but we're headed to the desert. It is Joshua Tree. Now, to be honest, there are like 20 places in California I could put on this list. The state has everything. It has mountains and beaches and lakes and 9 national parks and desert and city.
And Joshua Tree. There we go, the national parks now.
So it's hard to choose.
Make a shot every time she says national park.
I really loved visiting is Joshua Tree and Joshua Tree National Park. It's one of the more low-key national parks I've been to because there aren't a lot of major attractions in it, unlike somewhere like Yellowstone. And the town of Joshua Tree sits right at the entrance to the park, and you can find a lot of really cool accommodation there, like very boho aesthetic vacation homes. And then you can just drive through the park. There are some points of interest. You can do some hiking. It's really just a lot of wide open space. Then last, but certainly not least, is New York City. No US travel is complete without New York City. I would recommend a New York trip to literally everyone. Because if you have ever watched television or movies, there will be something interesting to you about New York. Because in a lot of ways, it is like the movies. I will never forget the first time I went to New York. I was 21 and I hailed a taxi and I felt so Carrie Bradshaw. I couldn't believe this is actually what you do. You just stand on the curb and raise an arm, and this was also before
that's what a taxi is.
So this was
that's how you order a taxi.
Getting to walk through Central Park or the Empire State Building or Grand Central Station and seeing all these places you've seen on TV your whole life.
I've been there in my life.
It's so cool. You can go out and see the Statue of Liberty. And the city has some of the best dining in the world. So even if you're somebody who typically doesn't go for big city destinations, I think New York is a must for everyone at least once. So those are some places I recommend visiting in the US, and I know this video doesn't even scratch the surface. So let us all know where you recommend visiting down in a comment below. Thanks for watching. As always, happy travels.
That's a good recommendation.
I will see you.
They look like some great places. So basically everywhere that has a national park.
Yeah, so what we're going with here is if you heard national park anywhere, that's where you're going.
But I mean, if you love hiking and nature and things like that, that'd be amazing for you.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's close to a national park.
I would be afraid of the bears, though.
At the national park.
I would definitely be afraid of the bears. Is there there's snakes there as well, so
usually around national park.
That's one thing to keep an eye out as well for, just all the animals. And moose are huge. So
moose are houses with legs.
Yeah. So that'd be a bit scary.
Yeah. Moose are actually more like a national park with legs.
But I did like all the little towns and stuff like that. I like going to see places like that. I think they're more full of history and stuff than big cities would be. So I always like to go to little places like that. So this is good to find out. And also I know where Washington is now, so it's fun.
Yep. She actually taught us so much. So of course a very big shout out to herself and her channel and the original video. And thank you guys for sending this over to us. She actually compiled a great list and for a trip going back to Ireland, we will be going through America, so this is going to help us a lot. I know I am slagging about the national park, but yes, we more than likely will end up in one of these national parks that she talks about.
Well, I mean, if we're going to Vegas, we're going to go to the Grand Canyon. So
yeah.
You have to.
You have to. So, of course, do let us know if any of you guys watching was your hometown in this list. Ooh. And was there any hidden gems that might be left out you should tell us about in the comments. Don't be shy. And if you have any other videos like this we need to check out, do let us know in the comments down below.
Or if there's anything you want to know about random places in Australia, let us know and we'll do a video on it too.
And that's been our 2 shakes, and we'll chop ourselves out of this.